French, the most glamorous location in which area of London we're in? Vaguely west? Brent. The most glamorous location, well, certainly the most glamorous location in Brent. And we are having Southern Discomfort Roller Derby, the home team, take on Roller Derby Nantes Atlantique. I apologise in advance for how much I will offend the French with my accent. We have on the SDRD roster Douglas Grave, Wimmer Wilkin, Ferris Jeweler, Gemma English, Blitzkrieg, Noli Noli, Rickroll, Bell, Ferguson, Ron Jib, Tuff, Luke, JT, Esbit, Chaz, Grim, Scar, Bullet Bomber, Lord of Mercy, and Beth Lord, playing in white with the blue accents.
And playing in black, we have Okrep, Jesus, Pip Pip, Brute Banner, Crubbery, Spooky, Pirouette, Vlad Kiri, Arnold, Joey, and Vibro Boy.
And we have my new favourite derby name, which is Bip Bip, who is jamming for Nantes, and Blitzkrieg jamming for SDRD. And first lead of the game goes to Nantes, but we are playing backwards roller derby, recycled into the apex between turns 1 and 2. Lovely defence there by Tuff, but Bip Bip, I'm going to enjoy saying that name many a time. Bip Bip is the lead, and we've had SDRD passing the star to Bell.
So first points on the board for Roller Derby Nantes Atlantique.
I think I've got to put this out on the record quite early on in this game, that I am terrified of French roller derby players. I'm afraid of them, not because they're not delightful human beings, but because they are astonishingly good at skating, and I'm afraid of that. I get intimidated by it, so I'm quite glad we're on the balcony, away from them,
Slightly far away from them.
Just afraid of the French. We have Pirouette against Wimmer Wilkin, who was also a very pirouette style jammer. We have a contact penalty going to John English. Pirouette at the front of the pack against Douglas Grave and somebody else, but it was Pirouette with the second consecutive lead for Nantes Atlantique, and a track cut for Wimmer Wilkin. So SDRD in some major trouble here with 2 blockers in the box, and Pirouette on a power jam.
Yes, a good opportunity for Nantes to take a very early lead.
How do we pronounce the French Jesus, do you think? Because when it's a Spanish origin team, or then we go Jesus. What is the French pronunciation of Jesus?
Yeah, I was wondering this.
Jesus. But we could. It could be Jesus.
Maybe we should have asked them.
Maybe we should. But
I did do French A level, but that was. I'm not going to say how long ago it was, because then you'll all know how old I am. It was quite a while ago.
Windmill back on track, and Pirouette on his 4th scoring pass. Doug is Grave now with the star. Go on, Doug. Pirouette looking at the screen and watching his bench, calls the jam before Doug can hit the pack. So 20-0 to Nantes Atlantique. And we have Bruce, no, not Bruce, that would be the pun, that would be the real name, not the pun. Brute Banner lining up for Nantes, and Scar lining up for SDRD.
Pack advantage to SDRD in this jam. Let's see if they can make that count, get their first lead jammer of this game.
Yeah, Brute doing a little bit of defensive jamming before being escorted to the infield courtesy of Ron Jib. JT heading to the box for a direction of play penalty, and Scar in the meantime picks up SDRD's first lead, and a low block penalty going to the Nantes blocker.
That was illegal contact.
Illegal contact. That's why I'm not a ref.
I think it was an out of play low block, so
it was a penalty of some kind. Scar in the meantime putting up SDRD's first points of the game. Yet to hit the board, but that will be the full 4 and now the full 8 for the home team.
And with that as well, that means SDRD will start the next jam with a 3-2 pack advantage. So
And we have Ferguson lining up for SDRD and Bip Bip. Oh, I'm just absolutely delighted with that name, and I'm sure that is how he intends it to be said. So a little bit of jammer jiggery pokery, but Bip Bip picks up lead. Fergie not even a quarter of a track behind. So we're off to the races, folks, as the penalty box empties out. Woo, hello, we're all checking the floor still there. It's alright guys, Stonebridge isn't getting knocked down for another couple of years. Still very much solid.
Absolutely solid effort there from Bip Bip to stay on track.
He just glided backwards on one foot, just nonchalant. Imagine if there was a French roller derby player who was just called nonchalant. I would love that, I'd be obsessed.
They would have to be the most chaotic player.
Oh, 100%. So both jammers just putting up point for point at the moment, 8 all on the jam. Oh, but a penalty, but the lesser spotted multiplayer going to Bip Bip. So Fergie on a power jam for SDRD, and it is a full 2-minute jam, don't forget, so you cannot call it. Lovely offense going in there from Douglas Grave. Fergie with 2 to deal with. Oh no, Fergie. Is Fergie okay? I will tell you right now, I'm afraid of the French, but if they hurt Fergie, I will hurt them. Leave Fergie's knees alone. Esmond going to the box for a back block as Bip Bip re-enters the fray. Right, coming back on. There we go. We're just taking a short medical break courtesy of Fergie's knees, which should be insured by Denver Roller Derby, to be perfectly honest, after all he's done for them. Shout out to our track repair crew. Go on, Trev. You repair that track. Trev, did you dress like this to colour coordinate with the track? She's not listening to me. She's too focused on her job. A consummate professional, unlike the people with the mics.
I couldn't even bring myself to say oi at you saying that. I was gonna. I went, nah, it's a fair point. roller derby is happening. We've got one SDRD blocker in the penalty box, and Blitzkrieg has picked up lead jammer for SDRD. Put him with the star stash. That Wall did a nice job of reforming in front, went down but not out of bounds.
And Blitzkrieg filling up 4 with Pirouette now completing the initial pass, putting the hat back on, very important. This is definitely a faster rolling game than the previous game, and that's quite characteristic of what we see of French roller derby typically. Their speed skating skills are really well honed. And so that's their advantage. 1 point going up for STD on that last pass. So jam total is 5 with a 4-point game. Very spicy indeed.
Spicy. Brute Banner and Windmill Wilkin.
I'm really going to have to try to not call Brute Banner double tap from Team England, men's Team England, Robbie, because he looks so similar to him.
Yeah, as soon as you said
same
it, I can see it now.
Same ponytail. I think he even wears his ponytail on the same side. Pivot line start, and jammers flying into these very solid walls, which are at a virtual standstill. Oh, but a beautiful burst of speed from Brute Banner, hopping over the apex to pick up lead status. And Windmill is in the box. That happened so fast I didn't see it. But a track cut is being called on.
I think there was going to be a track cut, but
Brute Banner
recycled in time, seeded in time, yeah.
Yeah, the seeding rules around track cuts have changed in the last kind of 5 or 6 years, and I sometimes still kind of struggle to remember what the original rule was.
At least all I know is we're not back in the olden days when if you even came back on track accidentally, it was a cut. But that one definitely was a cut track.
That's before my time, I think. So that means we've got a 2-minute jam with almost a minute on the jam clock to play with for Windmill Wilkin. Being drawn back by, who is that? I can't see. 909 on the
Vibro Boy.
Windmill now completing the initial. Has 40 seconds to work with. Nice shoulder offense there from John English and Noli Moly.
Getting a nice little bit of offense there from Esbit.
Brute Banner re-entering track. Throws a shoulder into Windmill Wilkin and then finds a path of his own. Picks up the 4 that he had in the pocket before he went to the box. Oh, look at that score. Look at that score, Painbow.
So I think that will be 2 points. Yep, 2 points picked up by Brute Banner.
Yeah, STRD coasting a little bit in those last few seconds, which means that Nantes picked up points that otherwise they wouldn't have done if they'd run to the front of the pack.
Yeah, I think there was one blocker at the back here, got caught and taken off on the outside line, so that was one of the points.
Never nap on roller derby.
Seen a lot of pivot line starts today. Don't know how I feel about it.
I think that is more characteristic of RDI, but yeah, it's working very well for Bip Bip, who picks up lead. I think that's 100% lead for Bip Bip so far in this game. Scar being escorted to the infield by, is that Juicy? Joey, I cannot read today. JT and Roger popping in to try to defend Bip Bip's run, but forced out of the way.
Still getting caught a little bit in the are we doing offense, are we doing defense trap.
Yeah, Scar having some real trouble completing this initial. You know, the French blockers are not perhaps as kind of big and sturdy as the Kent blockers were in the last game, but they're very agile and really cover the track very well.
We have had a star pass that has gone to Bell from SDRD.
And now SDRD locking down defensively. But Big Big finding the gaps. Yeah, not doing a great job at kind of blowing up those walls once they've been set up.
Ooh, that was nearly, I thought Big Big was going to stay on the track there, but...
And we'll see, right, it's a big old jam for the French visitors, 20 points. 4 with the star pass for SDRD, putting the score at 57-39.
And Southern Discomfort called a team timeout. We are just over 10 minutes into this half, so I think that's a good time to call a team timeout, 10 minutes into a half. Have a little breather, have a little chat. Are we getting chips? Are we getting a baked potato? I've heard the baked potatoes at Ace are really good. Okay, Pirouette and
Doug's
Doug
jamming.
Hisgrave.
Yay,
I thought it was Windmill for a minute because I saw the 0-0, but it's not.
Yeah, so Doug's starting with the star for the first time today, but of course he is an extremely experienced jammer in his own right and picks up lead for SDRD. Yes, Doug, go on, he's doing it for me. Love it when a man points at me and makes eye contact off the track.
Pirouette is out now and about a third of the track behind Doug Hisgrave.
Yeah, lovely pathfinding there from Doug and calls the jam. But did Pirouette sneak? He did sneak 3 points. 3 points. It's like Eurovision in here all of a sudden. Listen, I can only apologise to all French-speaking regions of the world for my accent. My mother speaks French. She did not pass that on to me. I've always been quite annoyed at her about that. But to be fair, her accent is actually awful. My accent's better than hers, but she can actually speak it. And Blitzkrieg on the line. We've got 5 on 5 on track. Blitz with 2 to work around. Oh, that one hand down is a thing of beauty from Blitzkrieg. He picks up lead for Southern Discomfort.
Yeah, we've got a non-blocker now in the penalty box for a forearms penalty. So,
and this is the first time I think that Big Big has not got lead as well. Yeah, definitely.
Out now on the initial pass, very sensibly trying to get away from Blitzkrieg as quick as possible because we've seen what Blitz does to the other jammer.
So now we have Wimmer Wilkin and Pirouette.
So I want at least one 360-degree spin from
at
one
least.
of these jammers.
Simultaneous spins.
Going to go around with names like that. I want spins. Spinny spins.
Oh, and really nice work there from Pirouette, who manages to shake off SDRD's defensive structure. Windmill Wilkin only a quarter of a track behind. Pirouette has 1 point, has 2. And no points picked up for SDRD in that last jam. So we're nickel and dime it here a little bit more. Halfway through the first half. A quarter of the way through the game, if you wish to be mathematical about it. which I'm assuming nobody does. Scar and Boudbonnet. Oh, that is outrageous work from Boudbonnet there, leaping the straightaway on the in. But Scar not far behind, so we're speeding up in the pack now. STRD setting at the top. And I think that's 3-2 on the jam in favour of Nantes.
Yeah, opting for the call off. There was a blocker in the box as well, so for SDRD. So
I know I'm about to jinx this like 10 times to Sunday, but this game has been much less penalty heavy than the first game for both teams, I think. I think the French style of play is less aggressive than what Kent were putting out there.
It's also a much closer game, so there's a bit less risk taking at the moment, I think.
I do think that when you've got two teams that are more evenly matched, the penalties do tend to even out a little bit. Douglas Grave having a little bit of trouble there against one of the Nantes blockers, but now clears the initial. Noli with some lovely calm defence there against Bip Bip, now joined by Gemma English. Gemma English picks up a forearm for her troubles, but she'll be in good company as we've got three Nantes blockers waiting in the penalty box.
What was that you said at the beginning of this jam?
Yeah, I know, I ruined it, didn't I? My apologies to the French. Désolé.
Apologies to the French and Gemma English.
Listen, Gemma English broke my wrist 2.5 years ago. I don't apologise to her anymore. I'm joking, Gemma, I love you really. I mean, she didn't break it, the floor did, but it was her actions that put me on the floor. Woo, that was yeah, you're right, I absolutely shouldn't have said that about the penalty, should I? I'm cursed. 12-11 in the jam though, and we've only got 15 points separating these two.
16.
Very, very wonderful team. 16 points, thank you so much. Just checking you're still awake, Paybo. Look, I'm here for the jinxes and the terrible jokes, all right? Not the mathematics of the thing.
I can hear incorrect maths from like 10
I've done
miles
some
away.
correct maths today. What more do you want from me?
You have.
Blitz trying the straightaway jump, but unfortunately it doesn't work when you've got bodies in the way, so forced to reset and do it the normal way, on the feet. Picks up lead for SDRD. Blitz, half a track behind. Zoom, zoom. Oh, that's just textbook there from Tough and Blitz. Tough goes in the offense. Blitz bean dips, cools the jam. Lovely work, 4-0, that will do.
Has Blitz got 100% lead record so far?
Oh, probably.
Like, I wasn't going to say that
I'm
Blitz has
assuming
jinxed it,
so.
but that's alright.
Maybe. Oh no, I think actually the first jam out. Yeah, the first jam out when they passed to Bell.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Ooh. We'll miss that one. We won't count it. It's fine. We can do
jam,
it.
innit?
We can do it. We won. No one rules us. Oh, and when the Wilkin go into the box for a back block, so Boudbonnet, the French Hulk, on a power jam now for Nantes. I do find his name deliciously ironic because it's a tiny little slip of a thing. Maybe he grows when he's angry. Does it go green? I would love that. Imagine. Or maybe he's a scientist, maybe that's where it comes from.
Lovely little bit of one-on-one blocking from Bullet Bomber up at the front, but there's really only so much you can do against jammers like that.
And we've got Windmill back on track, and I know this because people are falling down all over the shop as he makes his initial pass.
Chaos has returned
Chaos.
to track.
Chaos has returned. '89 for Derby Nantes Atlantique. 65 for Southern Discomfort. I was about to say 0 for Southern Discomfort, and then I realised I would have read the score for Nantes and then the jab score for So Disco. Oh, we've got an official review. Oh, lovely. Who's called this? SDRD have called this. Sully. Oh, Sully's got his arms crossed, lads. We're in trouble.
Do you think he is just telling the refs that he thinks they're doing a really good job and he hopes they're having a lovely time?
No, I don't. No, Sully will tell them that afterwards. He's laser focused, ice cold. So we have, I'm assuming nothing happened after that because I think Rick Road was already in the box for STRD. So we have Pirouette, lead jammer for Nantes.
It would be unusual but possibly not unheard of for a team to call an official review and end up with one of their own skaters in the box at the end of it.
Unusual but not unheard of, you're correct.
I'm going to assume it's happened.
I'm going to assume that nothing dramatic happened. Scar on their initial, but no time to put points up. Full 4 go up for Nantes. We've got Douglas Grave and Brute Bannier.
Every time you say Brute Bannier, you say it with a very, very slightly French accent.
Yeah, I'm doing that
really
deliberately because I think that's how she would want me to do it. I don't know. I just think it's also I think it sounds better than Brute Banner. That sounds so British. Do you know what I mean? Douglas Grave is lead for Southern Discomfort. Brute hands the star off. I think that's Nantes' first star pass to Craboy.
Craboy, I'm really enjoying them.
Is that a soup like bouillabaisse?
Oh yeah,
Craboy. One hand down for Doug, absolutely outrageous.
There's been a lot of that today.
I mean, they love it. It's almost like they train it, and it's worked really well. So
a little bit of penalty trouble for Southern Discomfort, making that pass a little bit easier for Craboy than it might otherwise have been.
Yeah, but Doug was throwing in a little bit of defence there as well. Yeah, great use of the star pass there from Nantes Atlantique. Because I think that's an evenly scored jam, 8-8. Nantes now past the century mark with 101 points. So Disco at 73. Nice close game though. A lovely time here in Stonebridge on this fine May Saturday.
Yeah. 8 minutes left in this half. We've got Blitzkrieg and Pirouette.
Pirouette with a bit of a shirt whip off one of their players, but doesn't quite get the purchase. Blitz drawn back into the back apex. That's not something we see very often.
We're getting some offensive help there from the pivot. That's Bell.
Yeah.
Blitz picks up lead, but is still taken back, recycled.
Yeah, some great defensive work here by the French team. And Blitz goes, listen, normally by now I would have scored 12 points, so actually I'm going to call it. Thank you very much.
I don't understand what's happening, so I'm going to stop.
Yeah, Blitz was like, what do you mean I'm behind a defensive structure? This is not what I signed up for.
Still got lead though, so you know.
I mean, it's standard. Bip, bip. I'm so obsessed. I might change my name. I'm absolutely obsessed. If he's going to come up to me afterwards and tell me in a very deadpan French voice that it's actually bip, bip, without the inflection, I'm going to be really distressed. Scar and bip, bip. And Scar finds space. Beautiful work there. Bip, bip, just a quarter of a track behind. And Sully, the bench for SLD, taking absolutely no chances on that. Asks for the jam to be called, which it jolly well is.
Jam breath.
And potatoes for everyone. No points in that jam. Oberon, official review. Called by Nantes Atlantique.
So Nantes have one of their skaters wearing a, they don't have a bench coach with them today, so they've got a captain and then an alternate is pirouette.
Oh, I've never actually seen that before, where you have like two skaters rather than a non-skating person be an alternate. That's quite cool. Didn't know that could happen. Every day is a school day.
Yeah, I think anyone can wear the A. It just doesn't normally happen, but they've travelled quite a long way to come here today. And they've only got, I think, 11 skaters on the charter, but then I was reminded of the non-WFTDA team who came to regionals last year with like 12 skaters and just absolutely smashed everybody. Just didn't look like they had a care in the world.
I'm afraid of the French, and there's a reason for that.
Okay, 6.5 minutes left in this half of this game 2 today. Brute Banner and Doug Hisgrave. Doug getting a little bit of help there from JT. Brute Banner looking for space on the outside line, but that was shut down by Ronjib. These walls taking it in turns to recycle the jam back to turn 4. Very nice.
We are in full chaos mode right now. But finally, Doug Hisgrave works his way through, picks up lead for SDRD, adjusts his knee pads, has a quick chat with the ref, as you do. Tough going to the box for SDRD, not sure why, he's probably done something naughty.
Was a forearms penalty.
Probably. Lots of arms in this pack. Lovely blocking work there by the Nantes pivots. Slows Doug down briefly. Brute Banner now clearing the initial. She pops the star back on.
Oh, big takeout there. Another bit of good work there, burning the clock. SDRD with 2 blockers in the penalty box.
Is Is Brute going to play Doug's game? I don't think she is. There we go. Oh, little high fives between the jammers. Matching each other stride for stride. Yeah, really smart, conservative work there by Doug to clear the box for SDRD. Sometimes winning isn't the points. I mean, it is. At the end of the game, the points win it. You know what I mean, Painbow? Don't look at me in that tone of voice.
I was just waiting to see how you were going to get yourself out of that one.
It's probably best never to wait for me to finish the sentence, to be perfectly honest. If you could interrupt me, that would be better for the people at home. Full pack on track, Scar and Bip Bip, who picks up lead for Nantes Atlantique. Scar now completes the initial. I think that's another potato jam. No, not a chip and a potato. 1 point for Nantes, nothing for SDRD. We have just under 4 minutes left in this half.
Seeing Pirouette's number as well as 5, 6, 7, 8.
Oh, come on.
Say at the beginning
but now I just think of the song. 5, 6, 7, 8. Do, 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 do. Look, I'm a child of the 90s. I can't help it. Blitz picks up lead for SDRD. Pirouette very quickly whips the star off. But his pivot is in defensive mode now against Blitz, which is really where you should be at all times against Blitz. I'm just mesmerised by all the swirling bodies that's going on right now. Pirouette escapes the pack, chased down by Bell, who misses and resets.
So, yeah, Blitz had picked up the full 4?
Yeah.
What was that? No, 3.
Oh, right, I thought you meant already on the board, and I was like, yes, Painbow, that is a 4.
I was trying to see how
you
many
mean on the second
picked up on the second pass.
So we're still in a really tight game here. I'm going to get the maths right this time. That's 18.
That is 18 points.
That is 18 points.
Yeah.
Who's the calculator? Tell no one.
You were tentatively and carefully going to get the maths right. And you did.
Bip, bip, out again and lead for Nantes. And Doug is grave. Go on, Doug. Don't give me that look. You can do it. He just made an absolute face of me like, oh, Mum, I don't want to. I'm tired. I mean, to be fair, I thought Doug had hung up the star, and apparently not.
I think Doug might have thought he'd hung up the star, but Fergie's knees had other plans.
Did he lose a bet? I bet Fergie did it deliberately just because he wanted to see Doug jam, because watching Doug jam is delicious, to be fair. And we've got Pirouette and Scar lining up. 4-3 in the pack in favour of Sedisco. I'm really liking these defensive structures off the jam line. Really kind of fluid movements into 2 walls, then 3 walls, according to where the jammer goes. Nice patient work there by Scar.
I was just absolutely mesmerised by like the pack definition work and then the really nice blocking, and
it's all, you know, it amazes me, right, that nobody's ever approached a roller derby team to do a deodorant commercial, because the number of faces in armpits just then would really make for some great footage for a deodorant campaign. 3 solo points, can't read Stormy's fingers. Picked up there, not 3 solo points, just 3 points, just be normal. 3 points picked up by 7 Discomforts in that last jam. We're inching ever closer. But just to build the suspense, we're in an official timeout. Big shout out to our officials who are skating in very sweaty, poorly ventilated sports hall, because apparently that's what some people choose to do with their free time.
I mean, including us, really.
Yeah, but like, we're slightly mentally unwell paying though, aren't we? So
Slightly.
Just playing it down for the audience. Brugbanner and Blitzkrieg. I really like this matchup because the two really different styles of jamming. Blitz picks up leads. Brugbanner, she takes off the start beautifully, fakes the pass, comes up against Rick Rolls and Esbit. But she's working that wall inch by inch.
There's another 360-degree toe-stop hop around the apex from Blitz, just
Boring.
Saturday.
Ball. I'm asleep. Period clock has expired. This will be the last jam. And Blitz decides to call it on his own terms. Woo! Look at that score. We've got a 10-point game as we head into intermission. We shall build the tension for another 14 and a half minutes, and then we shall see you back here shortly. working. There we go. Welcome back to the second half of St Discomfort Roller Derby versus Roller Derby Nantes Atlantique. We have a 10-point game. We have Bip Bip and Blitzkrieg on the line, and it is Bip Bip who is the lead for Nantes. And it's a forearm penalty for Blitzkrieg, so we're starting off the second half with a power jam for our French visitors. Félicitations. I don't know if congratulations is the right thing to say in this situation, but if my French is not good enough to say what a lovely scenario for you.
So Bip Bip has managed to put up 8 points so far in this power jam. Blitz will still be on the initial pass.
And I don't think Bip Bip even touched the STRD wall there, which was rude.
And again.
And Blitz now back on track. Star in hand. Ron Gibbs like, don't give that thing to me. You put that thing back where it came from, also help me.
Absolutely not. I politely decline your offer of the star.
Yeah, my pronouns are no thanks. And 2 points put up there for STRD in the dying seconds of that jam. 20 to Nantes. So we have 28 points separating these two very wonderful teams, and we have our spin masters on the line. But you're right there haven't been enough spins from this pairing, and I will have words with them after the game. Pirouette with a lovely little, I'm going to say galumph, but you've got to understand that it was a very dainty galumph along the inside line. Hits the pack, goes, maybe not. 1 point goes up for Nantes. Windmill going, can I have one too? Russ absolutely going, no you cannot. Brut Banner and Scar now lining up.
I think you get slightly more French every time you say Brut Banner.
Brut Banner. Soon I'm just going to say, Croissant is lining up on the jam line. I'm so sorry to all French-speaking nations. I really can't help who I am. Oh, that is outrageous work there from Brut Banner. She has just got such incredible footwork.
Such fluid jamming. Just
like classic water jammer, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And Scar having a horrible time behind this French, I was going to say tripod, but it's now a quadrupod. Is that a thing? Quadrupod? A square?
Now.
I know we talk about a tripod. Do we ever talk about a square?
I think it's a table.
He's behind the table. We're all locked down now in turn 1. Some scrummy defense going on here. And Hizu, the French Jesus, really locking Scar down beautifully there. Tough taking Brut Banner to the outside, forcing a long old recycle back into the far straightaway.
Yeah, I don't know if Brut Banner could have got back on there because of the out of play. Cool.
That's a lot of internal maths to do when you're also on wheels.
I feel like play it safe.
Tactics.
You can't blame someone for that. I'd rather play it safe, especially when you lead, and she called it off anyway.
Yeah, exactly. And we have some palindrome jammers going up because we've got a 0-0 and we've got a 2-2-2. Dip, dip, dip. Bip, bip. And Doug is grave. Doug with some uncharacteristically slow spinning.
A power jam has been... I can't finish that sentence because it wasn't going to make any sense.
Established,
Yes,
yes. A power jam is happening.
A power jam is happening. It was a forearms penalty on Bip Bip.
Cut track going to number 6-1. That's Arnal on the Nantes team. Oh, some beautiful work there from Doug, who drops his knee, stays and bounds by virtue of the one hand. Noli going in for the offense. Doug is Grave going up against Northern Pomp.
Bit back on track now, still on the initial pass. So we'll have to get through before they can score any points.
Oh, I really hope somebody gifts that work from Doug there. I think he had more hands down in that jam than feet. I can't finish that sentence. The point I'm making is it was very good, but he drills that. He drills it unbelievably well, and it pays off. 8 points for So Disco, takes them past the century mark. 131 plays 106 in favour of our French visitors. Now we have Blitzkrieg and Pirouette, who's loving that inside line today, but the inside line is not loving him. It's a track cut. Oh, but the star pass happened like lightning to Ronjib, who's now in that horrible position of pivot turn jammer, having a lovely time.
I was going to say that actually looked quite nice, a little bit of offence.
That would be fine. If that happened to me, I'd be fine with that. Blitz keeping Clabouille out of action at the back.
Yeah, Blitz is very much not one of those jammers who looks a bit lost when they have to block.
No, he loves it. He secretly wants to be a blocker. Oh, but this is a long, low jam for Ronjo. We've still got over a minute on the clock.
I don't think anyone's hit him though so far, so...
No, it's good. But the box is still full up with the French, you see. Oh, lovely. I mean, he is also a Team England player, so he is very good at skating. I know he's not jammed in about 8 years, Brie, but you can't tell, can you? He's doing a lovely, lovely job. He's got 16 points so far. Oh, he's going to lose some track time there as a forearm sends into the box. He will be sprung from the box though before the jam clock expires.
I was going to say I had a very quick look at the jam clock when Ronjib went to the box, because that's the other worst thing to happen when you take the star as a pivot, is to end up having to start the next jam from the penalty box as the jammer. There's a lot that can go wrong if you're the pivot, really, isn't there, and you have to take the star.
Why I don't pivot anymore. Woo, that jam seems to last for about 15 years. 19 points for SDRD. That is a huge... I think, is that SDRD's biggest jam of the game? No, it's not. No,
I don't think
Blitz has had 24 points. But that's the biggest jam in a while.
And it's a big old jam from a pivot turned jam. Pivot turned jam.
Yeah, but it then did have a big chunk of a power jam.
Yeah.
7 points for Nantes in the last jam. We now a 13-point game. Things are hotting up here in Stonebridge as Bip Bip and the Windmill take the stars. Gemma English just lying on the ground there, having a nice time. Bip Bip with the leads. Oh, that is outrageous airtime for Bip Bip over the apex.
Windmill with some matrix star moves there, staying on track on the outside line.
And follows Bip Bip's path on the inside apex to complete the initial for So Disco. And we've got 1 point picked up on that last pass for Nantes, nothing for some Discomfort.
A little bit of last minute shenanigans on the pivot line there.
Shenanigans. We have Blue Banner and Scar, which is going to be quite a familiar matchup. Scar taken back by Jesus.
Now Brute Banner being taken back by
That's
Southern
Tough
Discomfort.
and Bullet Bomber, I think. Vibra Boy coming in to try to take out the brace for some Discomfort. Doesn't find much purchase. We're at a little bit of a slidey standstill here in the fast straightaway. JT comes in to throw some offense in for Scar. And this is a grinding start to Jam 7 of the second half. 50 seconds elapsed until Blue Banner picks up leads.
And Scar was so nearly out at the front there on turn 3, but being recycled all the way back to between the jam line and the
Yeah, that
line.
was pretty agonising. Blue Banner, she's so good at changing her levels.
Yeah.
To get around these players. I need to watch her in slow motion. It's amazing. Yes, Scar still on this eternal recycle. Some great defense here from Nantes. Really calm and collected.
We have had a star pass. That was a really nice star pass through the wall there to Ron Jib.
This is a massive jam for Nantes though. 12 on jam so far, and she will have points in the pocket there. Yep, an additional 2 going up.
And that, I just want to point out that I think when Ron Jib took that star, there was about 7 seconds left on the jam clock, and yet he managed to pick up 2 points.
3 points.
3 points.
He's very good. He's a very good skater.
That's some serious hustle though, to get all the way around.
We're in an official timeout, which is why I've just been quieter for longer than any period of time we've experienced so far. So we have Blitzkrieg and Bip Bip, and Blitzkrieg picking up a very quick lead status for Southern Discomfort. Bip Bip not too far behind. Southern Discomfort goating on in the back, and we're going for the, what I'm going to call the hip and slide, where Blitzkrieg kind of thrusts his hips forward, slides out about 20 feet, and then calls the jab. It's basically a dance move. 3 points there for So Disco. We have a 30-point stretch between the two teams, but I don't think that's impossible for So Disco to catch up to.
We saw a 28-point jam in the first game of today, so it's not impossible.
Impossible is nothing when you have wheels on your feet, but Pirouette taking charge this jam with a quick lead status. Windmill being drawn back into turn 4. Lovely edge control to stay in bounds there by Windmill. Gemma English offering a helping hand, i.e. a shove in the back. But STRD a bit broken up now, not really in a structure. JT getting their team back together now. Pirouette going arbitrary ball. Shall not slow down, for I shall simply fly over you with my long legs.
That very much did look like Pirouette jumped over the entire wall, not just the apex, but I think there was enough air.
I think he did.
To have actually
I saw. Bad luck for some Discomfort as Windmill off to the box with a 4-arms penalty. I really wish these people would stop having arms. It's been quite problematic this game. Are now coming in for some offense, but nice catch here by JT and Gemma English, and Wilkin finding a gap to complete the initial. Whew, blimey, 22 points for Nantes, who are tantalisingly close to that double century with a quarter of the game clock to run.
I think they heard you say that it was still within Southern Discomfort's reach and went, well, we'll do something about that.
Far be it from me to try to control the French. They will have their way.
And we have a team timeout called by Southern Discomfort. Okay, so we are back. We have got Bip Bip up against Doug Hisgrave.
I like that you started saying Bip Bip now.
It does feel like the only right way to say it.
Yeah, that's correct.
So another 4 up in that jam for Nantes.
Scar and Brut Banner.
Again, like how is she doing that?
Oh, she's doing it with a track cut. So Brut Banner, I think that's Brut's first penalty of this game. So she's in the penalty box, and Scar is lead for Southern Discomfort.
Straight through the arms of those two non-blockers.
And Sully telling Scar to call the jab. I think that is smart, because what they need now is a monster jam. And Scar has been great, but they haven't put up these huge jams, which people like, I don't know, Blitzkrieg have. Oh no, look, who's on the line?
Yeah, I'm not normally a fan of the default, like, freeze the other jammer in the box while, you know, if you are still picking up points reasonably easily, but I think it's a smart choice. I think smart choice in this specific situation.
Oh, some lovely weaving pathways there from Blitz. Picks up lead in 7 seconds. And now what he needs to do is to do that 7 more times, and for Disco to hold Brutes in the back whilst all that's going on. And we've had a star pass to Spooky.
So, do you think Disco will run this jam now?
I think they will. JT's in the box, so I think it's in their interest to run it. Ooh, big old hit there on Bullet Bomber from Spooky, and we've got a back block. Now we've got a forearms going to Spooky, so it's a second consecutive power jam. This could turn the tide against the French. Lovely offense swinging in there from Bell. Ooh, big hit there from Brute Bonnier onto Bell. And, oh, Sully is ice cold. Ices Spooky in the box as a jammer. Woo-hoo-hoo, Sully. The tactics. So now Windmill's going to the line for a second power start for Disco. We've got quite a bit of ground to make up.
Yeah, that is a 36-point difference, but there's still 10 minutes on the clock, so I don't think we'll see a lead jam.
Maybe 11.
But
you never know. Could happen.
No attempted apex jump though, so points off for that.
Yeah, nice eyes there from Gemma English, catching Spooky with Noli Noli as he comes out of the box. Who have the French put out as a pivot? So they put out one of their normal pivots, which is interesting as a choice. Claboui. Oh, the timing of that hit from Jesus. It's enough to convert you, isn't it? My goodness me. So, after that hit out, Windmill cleared the jam. 4 points put up. Doug, get up, you've got a jam. Don't look at me in that tone of voice, Doug. You've got a jam. Sully says so. He's looking well sulky. Look, you've got the medics over. He's just taking the mic. He's just being daft.
He's just having a rest.
You see, Doug, you can't do that because then the medics will get worried. Honestly. Oh, we've got an official review happening from Nantes.
SDRD making good use of this official review to pose for a photo.
Lads.
So once again, we have absolutely no idea what happened in that official review, but nobody has been sent to the penalty box off the back of it. And I don't think the score's changed, so I assume that none have lost their official review for the period. There is nearly 11 minutes left of this period. We've got Doug Hisgrave up against Beep Beep, and Doug Hisgrave. Oh,
is it beep? Did you just say beep beep?
Well,
is that the English translation? Beep beep.
I thought I said beep beep.
I think it's a short a track cut for Doug Hisgrave. That is not what So Disco need right now. Lovely defence there from Bell and JT, but Beep Beep finding a way through eventually.
I think that the So Disco blockers there were so ready for the offence to come on the inside line
that they baited. They flinched.
Left the space on the outside, not foiled this time by the same thing.
Yeah, setting up in that outside apex is really hard because of course it opens up essentially a whole other lane of space. And Beep Beep determined to push his team into the 200 point region this jam. Oh, and Jam called for injury, so we shall pipe down for a second. So medical timeout over and a team timeout called by SDRD. You know, just for a bit more time off. I think Sully's doing that just to mess with us.
I think he's giving Blitz a rest so that he can go and get another 28-point jam.
Nah, it's got to be at least 30. It's got to put him to work. Okay, I think we're getting back to some Dollar Derby. Windmill lining up for SDRD. And beep beep for Nantes. Blasting through those So Disco walls. Windmill follows half a track later.
Great work from Nantes clearing space on the inside line. I don't think that Bip Bip had to touch anyone.
Oh, the ideal jammer life. Blitzkrieg and pirouettes. Pirouette staying in bounds by millimetres, but Blitz just out in front. Great reforming there from Esbert and Bell to recatch Pirouette before he escapes the pack.
Yeah, I genuinely very much thought the Pirouette was out then, and then all of the SDRD blockers just reappeared as if by magic.
They do that. Yeah, their recycling has gotten a lot sharper in the second half, I think. Not recycling, they're waterfalling.
Reforming.
Waterfalling, that's a new word. And we've got Douglas Grove and Bruce Banner lining up. 4-on-4 in the pack. And we're all eating space back at the jam line. Doug trying the inside, Brute caught up behind Bell and Tough. Joey with a lovely catch there on Douglas Grove, but he escapes over the apex as he is wont to do. Picks up lead for So Disco.
Spooky, you are not the jammer.
And Doug using that classic hand down move to stay in bounds, but is now reset, I believe, by Jesus. Imagine being reset by Jesus. Something that spiritually we could all use.
So nice jam there from Doug Hisgrave, picks up 8 points, I think, if the other 4 haven't gone on the board yet.
Yeah, and if this game is sanctioned, as we believe it is, those differentials,
I did have that confirmed.
Yeah, narrowing down that differential will be really important for SDRD's ranking spots. Oh, so I think it's only 4 on that jam.
It was only 4 on the jam.
SDRD, yeah, we must have just got mixed up with the number of passes. Easily done for us.
It has been a long day so far. So we have Bip Bip and Blitzkrieg on the jam line. Full three pack advantage to SDRD. Blitz has found space on the inside line. I thought Bip Bip was through, but it has gone back to recycle. SDRD opting to put all four of their blockers on defence for a minute. Blitz getting a little bit of help from Gemma English.
Yeah, lovely lateral defence here from SDRD, but Bip Bip finally finds a way through to complete the initial. Blitz not going to give many time to score though. Does a very emphatic slap of the hips.
SDRD are chipping away at this now though. That is only 33 points difference.
Yeah, we've been kind of
5 minutes on the
hovering
clock.
between the kind of 15 to 30 point spread, which is very respectable, I think.
Especially considering that SDRD have already played a game this morning.
I mean, what I'm always so impressed about with the European teams who travel is that they very rarely travel with their full roster. I think they've got 11 on the bench today for Nantes.
Yeah, they have. Yeah, I counted that earlier.
And you know, I still remember a time when I watched Dundee play Brighton, and Dundee bought 9 players and won. So really, anything is possible if you just believe. Pirouette would lead, but Wilkin giving considerable chase. And catching up. Look at that lap speed from our Josh. Oh,
Very nice.
yeah, manages to scoot past Pirouette, finds a path, barely touches any opposing blockers. And so that's going to be the full 4 for SDRD. Any points for Pirouette?
2 points from Pirouette.
Dubois. We have Douglas Grave up against Bip Bip. I don't think we've seen this matchup a lot. Douglas Grave picks up leads, has to shake off Jesus. Oh, and a forearm for Bip Bip. So a power jam now for So Disco. Lovely shielding offense there from Tough. Little barrel roll from Douglas Grave, sorts him right out. I see you, Doug. Calm it down, boy.
We've seen a lot with Southern Discomfort in their offence. They'll go one player at the back and then they'll take one other player off the track, and then that just leaves a 2-wall up at the front.
I'm just mesmerised by everyone falling over briefly. And Sally asks Doug to cool it, and that's because Bip Bip is standing in the box, but unfortunately we've got 2 SDRD blockers sitting in the box, so the math doesn't quite math on this one. Just one of those things.
Yeah, I think neither of those blockers were in the box at the moment that the jam was
I think
called.
Tough was, but Bullet wasn't. However, Blitz makes short work of the pack, picks up leads. Seconds later, Bip Bip is out, meets no opposition, completes the initial for Nantes. And a call from Sully. No points for Nantes, but a precious 2 for SDRD. So again, we're in that chipping away. It's like the dwarves in Snow White, isn't it, when they're chipping away in the mines. It just reminds me of that song. It's got a real chipping beat to it. Bip goes straight back out there with the star. Oh, and the jam whistle is not whistled, but the boys are so keen that off they go. It's actually an official whistle. So we're all going to reset and calm down. We're having a little jammer switcheroo. No jamming for you, Josh. Booze from the audience. So Blitz and Boop Boop going toe to toe.
I think we've had a captain's penalty assessed to Windmill Wilkin, who's just taken a seat in the penalty box as a blocker.
I'm
guessing that's a delay of game.
Oh, je ne sais pas. I'll ask him afterwards. I'll make sure to tell him off. Be like, what did you do? What did you specifically do?
I think they.
That means we get to see Windmill block, which is delightful. Is it just JT on track? Go on, JT, you've got this.
We love you, JT.
Yeah, JT. I don't think that can have been a delay of gameplay though, because they were lined up and then there was an official whistle and they went. That's because they thought it was the jam whistle because they were very excited. But they were definitely all the players we needed.
I do not.
I love Katie running and whistling at the same time. She's so precious. Oh, and there we go. Bip is very quickly established lead, which, to be fair, we've only got JT on track as a blocker.
Yeah, they're very good, but
they're not that good. As in, like, no one's that good.
Yes, you'd have to be magical.
The inflection was very important there. I apologise if I gave any other impression.
We have had a very quick star pass there
to Tuff. Bip goes, I have eyes on you. Takes him to the out, slows him down a wee bit. And now we've got everybody on track. But everyone's playing different roles. We've got Windmill and Blitz blocking, and we've got Tuff jamming. Bip putting up another 4 points. Tuff having a tough time, as it were, against these Nantes blockers who were just really calm, horribly calm in the tripod. Now, when the Wilkin gets an actual penalty, I'm going to tease him so much about that afterwards. And Tuff picks up 4 points for SDRD. Lovely work. And we are called for injury. Testing. There we go. We've got an official review being called by Southern Discomfort, as if this could get any more dramatic.
I think they're just using it as a timeout. So it does look like we are going to have one more jam.
Give the people what they want. It's one more jam, it's Douglas Grave, it's a lead status for Pirouettes. And he goes, do you know what? We travelled a long way. I'm just going to call it now.
Yeah, they've got another game.
Yeah.
But right now,
we have baguettes to consume after the game. And that is the unofficial score. Southern Discomfort Roller Derby 191. But a wonderful performance from the Roller Derby Nantes Atlantique with 224. Marvellous, lovely, very good.
Guess that's 2 done now for today.
Oh, thank God, I'm sure the audience are very relieved. So we have one more game today, which is Nantes Atlantique versus Kent Men's Roller Derby. And that's the final whistle, that's the final score. Thank you very much. Have some merch, have some baked goods. See you back here shortly. Bye-bye.